man.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, I'm back.
Keith.
Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened. What's up?
Top of the dome, Keith. What up, baby?
Legend?
What up, man?
How you doing, brother?
Excellent, excellent.
I gotta share a quick joke with you, man. So they give me this bio, right? Talking about the highlights of LL Cool J. I'm like, you can't fit that shit on one page. I'm like, when I read it, I'm like, I guess.
It's pretty funny.
The first thing I want to say is just
it's pretty long.
I want to say thank you so much for all you've contributed to hip hop. I've been blessed to be one of the OGs in the game, to see it from its inception, to watch you throughout your strides, from music to acting to hosting to so many things, rock the bells. And I just want to say, man, like, hip hop owes you, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. You know, and I owe hip hop. You know, it's kind of a mutual, it's a mutual thing, man. It's like, you know, I'm just so glad that I found something that so early in my life that I'm so enthusiastic about. You know what I'm saying? It's made life a lot more fun. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. And just even the legacy, brother, like the doors you've kicked down for so many of these artists now to be able to enjoy hip hop on this level. Because, you know, back in those days, it wasn't like that.
Nah. It definitely, you know, that's the beauty of it though, right? Like, you get to contribute at every stage.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like building a country. You know, you get to see it from the ground, from the inception, or building a skyscraper. You get to see the foundation, you get to see the basement, you get to see the first floor and the second, and then you get to see the floors that get added, and, you know, you still be a part of it. It's amazing. You know what I mean?
Yes, talking about still being a part of it, you still got it, brother.
Thank you, man.
You still got it. You still got it. And I'm so happy that you chose to do it. I think it's important. You know what I mean? I think it's an important lesson, because I've always said, and I've always felt a little jaded by watching other genres of music like rock and roll and others, and those brothers able to make music and do their thing for so many years. And hip hop, it's almost like they try to give it an expiration date on how long you could be a rapper or love hip hop or send a message. So how do you feel about that? You know?
Well, I think that the code that needed to be cracked, what people had to understand, is that it's not about old versus young, it's about old versus new. And I think, and new is an idea, new is an approach, new is execution, new is, I'll give you an example. I was telling somebody earlier, the easiest way to put it in perspective is with cars. The 20-year-old want the same car that his uncle want. 24-year-old want the same car that his uncle want. But which version does he want? The new joint, right?
Right.
You want the new. So the car companies, what they do is the same brand. They just update the car. They give it a new version. It's new. So the car is old. The brand is old. Yo, Maybach, Rolls-Royce, Mercedes, Ferrari, Lambo, all of them, those brands are old, B. Those are old brands. They give you a new approach. Now, every now and then you get a Tesla. Every now and you get a new one, and that's okay too. We need it. But for Lamborghini and Ferrari and for all of them to continue to make people want to be a part of what they're doing, they got to give you fresh versions. They got to give you hybrids. They got to give you new versions of the Lambo, new versions of the Ferrari. So that's all we got to do with the music. It's the same thing. It's like, give me a new joint, make it new. It's not that people are having an allergic reaction to age. They have an allergic reaction to an old mindset.
Right. Oh man, you broke it down perfectly. Perfectly, man. Perfectly. Yeah. And to your point, I see it because I remember growing up, Dukes of Hazzard's the Challenger, and now.
See what I'm saying? Different. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Like all of that, it's new. It's and so I think, like, once we think about things from that perspective, then it's up to us to stay interested, to gain as much knowledge as we can about a particular subject, to believe in what you're doing, to be enthusiastic. But but you got to approach it from a new place. If I make a movie tomorrow, if I make an action movie tomorrow, I'm not going to make an action movie doing what people was doing in 1980 or 1990. I'm going to make you an action movie for 2025, 26, and it's going to have new technology and a new approach. And I think that the music, everything has to be that way. So the mindset, it's a mindset thing. It's the mindset. And a lot of times I think when like the people that are from prior generations, they get upset, but they don't realize that they unintentionally have a mindset that's antiquated. Or sometimes, or the flip side of that is you can have a person from a newer generation who's assuming that somebody has an older mindset because they're from a prior generation, but that may not be the case. You see what I'm saying? The people like, you know, so if I was going to, it's like a video game. I'm going to give you the new version. Madden ain't new.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the NBA video game is 2K now, but the NBA video game ain't new. But the players, the approach, the technology, the way it's presented is new. And I think if we do that with our music and our culture, and if we think about it from that way, I think that generationally we'll all be able to connect more. You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely agree with you. So you got a banger that I love with my boys. You know, we down here in South Florida, Rick Ross and a few others. I also like the selection of artists that you chose to work with. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, I just wanted to do things that artistically made sense, like the Saturday Night Special record with Fat Joe and Rick Ross. That's about that hustler's mindset. Again, it wasn't about picking an artist from just an era. Like Fat Joe and even Ross are from different eras.
They are.
But they both have a newer mentality. That was the thing. So it worked on that song. Saweetie's a newer artist, but the mentality, he's an artist that's a veteran who's been around years, but his lyrical skill and the way he approaches it is fresh, is new, he's dope. So everything that we did, you know, even Q-Tip, yes, he's been around many years, but the approach is modern. The thinking, the sonics are modern. So like for me, it's like when I put Eminem on a record, when I put Snoop on that particular record, Spirit of Cyrus, the way we approach that, very new. Even though it sonically reminds me of Murder Was the Case, it's like Back to the Future.
Yes.
Think about all like Sona Jorbetta, taking an artist from West Africa, putting on Black Code Suite, but then combining those music. It's a new approach. Most people would have just went and did an Afrobeats record. I could have done that. I could have done that. I could have easily have just done that, but that wouldn't have necessarily been new. It would have been modern, but it wouldn't have been new.
Right. That's correct.
And I wanted to do new stuff. And so that was the thinking.
With all those accolades that they try to fit on that one page, what really was the driving force to make you want to come out with the new music like this?
I love it, man. I'm just super enthusiastic. Let me tell you something, man. The idea of people downloading my album on iTunes or downloading my song and listening to it, that's why I do it. As an artist, that moves my spirit. I love the idea that I'm kind of like people are enjoying something I created. I made a decision to paint on silence. I'm sharing it with the world, and then they're enjoying it, and it's making their lives better. How is it making their lives better? Because for those few minutes when they're listening to my song, maybe they're forgetting about certain problems, or maybe it's helping them solve problems, or maybe it's helping them dream. Whatever they interpretation of the music, that's on them. But the fact that people are embracing it, that to me is a purpose for living, because that's why we're here. And so that's what it was about, man. It's really about that enthusiasm and loving what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
Listen, I remember that kid in Queens. I grew up in Rochdale for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I know about farmers. I was around. And just to see the fact that you have gone through all of those stages, like I said, and to see that you still have this love for the game and the love for music and hip hop, it's really storytelling, man. It's just beautiful, man.
I love it, man. I love it. And I love the fact that we have now, the one thing that's beautiful now is now we can have Glorilla and Sexy Red that generation, and then we can have a Kendrick and a Drake and a Cole in that generation, and Future in that generation, and then at the same time you can have a Fat Joe and a Ross and an LL Cool J in that generation, and they all can be enjoyed by the people and all be playing on the channel, and it makes sense.
Yes.
Because the mindset is new and the thinking is new. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love the most about it. And I think that moving forward, you're going to find more artists are going to be able to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you're
More
making them
artists.
comfortable. You're making them
go.
comfortable. Please let everybody know the name of the project.
So the album is called The Force. It stands for Frequencies of Real Creative Energy. Just download The Force, LL Cool J, The Force. And I think that it's some work that it's just art that I really love with my heart and soul. And I just want you guys to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And just dig it. You know what I'm saying? And feel it. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, the future of the funk is here.
No doubt. No doubt.
And that name you've had for a very long time.
No question.
And you're proving it right, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
You're proving it right.
Man. I appreciate
you. LL, we love you, man. You're an
man.
icon.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for all that you've done. Again, my brother, I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you for coming on with me, man. And you make us all proud. And I'm happy everybody's giving you your love and your flowers while you're able to receive it.
Hey, so am I. And I appreciate you receiving them. Thank you, Papa Key. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, take care, LL Cool J.
Peace.
All right, brother.